Daily watches. Versatility, reliability, and a grab-and-go nature all play a part when deciding on which watch to pick to wear on a regular basis. For me, a good daily watch is something that doesn't get in the way of my life. It needs to be something that is under the radar when preoccupied. Comfort is also important, which is why case proportions matter. And finally, it needs to be reliable in every sense of the word. I can't have this thing failing on me as I go about my day. My personal daily watch at the moment is a Seiko SARB033. Sure, I have other watches in my collection that have been regular daily wears previously, but recently I find myself reaching for the SARB more than most. And here's why. I believe the reason this watch is the best daily watch is down to certain features that all come together that play off each other incredibly well. Firstly, we have dimensions. A 38mm wide with a lug-to-lug distance of 44mm and a thickness around 11mm, the SARB is a dream to wear. It fits like a glove, and understandably is compared to the Datejust and Day-Date from Rolex. It's not too big as to feel clunky or unnecessary. It's well-rounded, balanced, and usable. Next we have the design of the watch, and this is where my personal preference really steps up a gear. The Dauphine hands, multi-faceted applied hour markers, long sweeping seconds hand with large counterbalance, and its overall just bare essentials dial configuration leave just an overriding dressy appearance on the wrist. And yet it doesn't really feel like it's missing anything. The watch has plenty of bright lume, the date is inoffensive, and there's just the right amount of negative space on the dial. There's also a sense of simplicity at its core. Of course, being something I look to depend on day in and day out, the watch needs to offer tangible usability. The SARB has 50 hours of power reserve with hand winding and is hacking. In a watch that retails for less than £500, this is a huge bonus. I never worry about the watch running low on power throughout the week, even if for one day I want to wear something different. I've already mentioned this in terms of design, but the date window is also extremely useful. Some people love them, some people hate them, but I regularly surprise myself with how often I look at my wrist to see what the date is. It's a vital part of the SARB's value proposition, and even more so as a daily. There is nothing on this watch that I don't feel I use and benefit from every day, and this is a hugely underrated feature. And finally, we have the price point. When I picked this watch up back in 2016, I paid just £240 from a well-known Japanese-based dealer. Since then, the watch has been discontinued by Seiko and now seems to sell on the second-hand market for around the £400 price point and up. These price points are both a comfortable amount to spend on a watch that, if I scratch it, knock it, or it gets scuffed, I'm not going to be too concerned. The moment I start worrying about the value of the watch on my wrist is a moment where I shouldn't really be wearing the watch day in and day out. When it comes to straps for the SARB, I try to keep things simple, versatile, and in line with my style. The simple Handmade in chocolate brown was the first strap I put on the SARB when I added it to my collection. And, to be honest, it's a combination that still gets a lot of regular wear today. Another look I really enjoy is the Clanville Horween leather strap in vintage brown. And yes, although the colour is a similar match to the previous strap, this option offers centralised stitching, which naturally brings the eye and attention more towards the dial of the watch. Failing that, the Witley in grey matte is arguably the best pick of the bunch here, as its stitchingless design feels more modern and clean. This is probably the most versatile option we've taken a look at today. If you like the look of any of these straps, make sure you check the description below for links to the exact ones featured. It's worth coming clean here and mentioning that this wasn't just a one-horse race. The Rolex Submariner and even my recently acquired Cartier Tank are both joint seconds. However, these watches lean quite heavily into their respective categories of diver and dress, just a little bit too much for me to always feel comfortable strapping them to my wrist on a daily basis. These three watches are pieces that are regular grab-and-go options for me, but at the moment, the SARB is the one that requires the least thought, making it number one. Speak to any watch collector and they will eventually use the word versatility. It's an attractive trait when we spend a notable amount of coin on a watch, so it's natural to feel we have to gravitate towards watches that are versatile, so we feel that we're getting good value for use out of them. A good daily watch should allow me to focus on my daily tasks at hand, with a watch only entering my mind when it comes to finding out the time. And so, for that reason, the Seiko SARB033, more often than not, will be on my wrist. Be sure to subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss any of our videos as they're released, including the rest of the team's very own daily watch picks and why they work for them. And finally, we want to hear from you on this. What is your daily watch and why? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.